All right, everyone. This is JWeeks23. That's Librius. Here once again on Game Chair Conversations. Second video. We've popped the cherry on the first one. Thank you, thank you. The main voyage is over. Now we just have to wait to hit the fucking iceberg. So here we are. Keep talking about games. Hopefully this time we won't get interrupted by the family. I actually tied them up and put them in a closet, so that shouldn't be a problem until they
gnaw. You didn't do that the first time.
Until they gnaw through the ropes and get the hell out. But either way. So we're going to start right into it with a topic actually I brought up a while ago, and we just briefly got into it a little bit here before starting recording, is nostalgia games. And when I say nostalgia games, of course I mean, people our age started with the NES game system. I know the Mario Bros, the Zeldas and whatnot, all that. So that was something that near and dear to our hearts. And for me, for a long time, like, I'm diehard an NES fan. Even though I don't really play NES now, but when it comes to those older games, I'm always like going back to them. Like, I would always get the ROM and want to go back and play through them. But here recently, it's kind of changed a little bit for me. I kind of like, you know what? They're okay. And I guess the reason I say that is because like a lot of the indie games that come on PS Plus are those style of games. They're kind of going back to those type of games, and they just don't hold the same candle to the original ones do it to me, I guess. I don't know, maybe maybe it's the right time, at that moment, and they just got it right, and now it's not. We have all these great 3D games, and my mind's geared more towards that. But so the ROMs I did play through at one point in time, just for nostalgia's sake. But then when it comes to the indies, I really can't get into as much. I don't know why. I do love a side scroller. I do love a side scroller. Like Guacamelee is a side scroller. Love that. What else is a good side scroller that's out there that is now? Gosh, I can't think of one on top of my head.
Did you like Mercenary Kings? That was kind of a side scroller, wasn't it?
It was a side scroller. And that was done in the style of NES game. I did like it. It wasn't something that I could play for a long time. Because we didn't play it for a long time. We kind of played maybe a week or two, and then we kind of moved on.
Yeah.
But like any good side scroller platformer that comes out, I'm all over because I love them. Like I love platformers and side scrollers in general.
You like Little Big Planet?
I do. That's a good. I haven't played the one on the PS4 yet because there's a bunch of problems with the game. They haven't even patched yet. But I mean, I know I will be picking it up. And actually, I should have picked it up on the sale that just happened. They had a $10 sale. It was for $10 on the PS store. It was on some sale they had like a week ago. I should have picked it up. Yeah. But Brian, I mean, I know I hogged a lot of time here, but I mean, what do you think about the old games? Have you kind of just let them stay where they're at, or you just kind of still hold them near and dear to your heart and whatnot?
No, I actually still hold them near and dear, but it's a little bit different. I started on the PC on those games where you had to type them out. So like it would just come up on the screen and say you're in a room, and you had to type out, look around, and it'd tell you what was there. Right. And then it'd say there's a door, and you have to go walk to the door and open the door and all that. So when the NES first came out, I mean, that was like, the Atari and NES and those games. I mean, even though they were, not 3D and all that, holy crap, they blew me away.
All right.
So I kind of hold that near and dear. Now, I had parents that only let me play just a little bit. So, and they would come in and just pull the plug. You're talking in the middle of Blaster Master, which was a minimum 10-hour game, 8 to 10 hour game. You're all the way at the end. They're in there screaming, you've got your door locked. They done jimmy the door open. They come in and just rip the plug out the wall.
And there's no saving back then,
No.
It's kind of
but the first game that came out was the first game I ever played that had a save chip, and it was Zelda. Okay. So I made sure every chance I did, I saved that son of a bitch. I sure did. Because any point in time, my parents are coming in and pulling the plug on the whole damn thing. So yeah. I kind of have that going from the typing it to just not having to do that. And so any type of those indie games, I'm more than happy to give them a try. Right. And of course, the first type of games I actually put a large amount of time into because I could save was those old role-playing games.
Right.
So, I'm kind of looking forward to some of the newer type of, those building games, like, I don't know, the top-down type of things, or even, there's, I think like No Man's Sky coming out, which we'll get into here probably in a little bit, but.
All right.
So, that type of thing, I enjoy that type of a game where it has just maybe, a singular, it broadens it out to what you can do, but you can do these, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's just something brings me back to the old days on a lot of these indie games that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and the same with me. I mean, when you first sit down with some of these indie games, and there's very few that grab me, but you sit down with them, and like soon the first 5 seconds, you see where the influences come from. Mm-hmm. You think back to those awesome games you played on the Nintendo, but unless it's something special, a lot of times they don't hold my attention, and I have to, move on to something a little more current. And I know it might be bad. But
no, and you know what? And it even back to my old tabletop gaming days. That the Game Out Now Transistor. I mean, that takes me back to that, where you have a certain set of actions that you built up onto other actions. I call them functions, mm-hmm. and then you kind of can pause the action, lay everything out, and see how it's going to work, and then execute that, and then see how that worked, and then kind of evaluate that again. Was that a good strategy? Could it take these people down? And then you get to the next access point and you can change that around. And that to me was kind of like the tabletop type of thing. I mean, that's, it's kind of, you can take it as slow or as fast as you want.
Right.
And changing those things in and out, changing those functions in and out on your screen. If I don't know how many different combinations there are between the action or the main functions and then your little sub functions and then using them as a passive thing. So.
Right. Yeah,
that game really takes me back.
Yeah, Transistor's fun. I do like Transistor. I'm playing through it now. Trying to finish it up. I know you're almost done, but yeah. But one of the things I want to get to, because thinking back on these old games, I'll always think back to how I played them. And so I was a big Super Mario fan, obviously, because it came with the system, so everybody had to be a big Super Mario fan. Mm-hmm. So I had like Super Mario pajamas, okay? A Super Mario baseball cap. And I would wear these motherfuckers every time I sat down and played. Like I was geared up to play some Super Mario Brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I wasn't allowed to have none of that, but I was able to have Super Mario cereal, which I ate every morning.
So I was all geared up, you know what I'm saying? I was just ready to go. Sitting down in the basement, which is where the Nintendo was, playing this game. Sometimes my dad would watch, but I don't know. I felt like it was my lucky hat. I don't know,
Yeah, right.
I probably looked like a damn retard sitting there, but I was sitting there, I was going through the game. And a lot of times it didn't bring me luck. Because I had the worst fucking temper when it came to video games, and I still have a small one. I've kind of gotten rid of it a little bit, but I'll throw that controller so bad. Like, if you look at the back of my old Nintendo controller, it's like scratched the fucking hell because I threw it all over the place every time I lost and got mad.
I did too.
I hate it.
Did you ever squeeze it? Did you ever squeeze that thing?
Starting to crack?
Well, because I knew you couldn't bend it, but I would give it a squeeze. A good hard squeeze.
I fucking hate you.
Well, I knew I had to be quiet because if I knew if I threw it and it made any sound, then my parents were going to come in and unplug it. So.
Right.
It all leads back to
that. Another story I had about it was so. And hear me this now. Like I'm a better player as an adult than I was as a kid. So I mean, I was just an okay video game player as a kid. There was this article in the paper saying there's going to be a video game tournament in my hometown, which is a small place. I don't know who in the hell thought they're going to have any kind of video game tournament in this small country ass town. Either way, it's going to be something set up like the movie The Wizard, if you know what that is. Yeah. Okay. So you go in and like they don't tell you what games you're going to play. You just go in and you play the games and see how far you can get. I don't know how they're going to score it, rank it, or whatever. So me and my cousin, we signed the fuck up. We're like, yes, let's do it. Me and an average to below average player sometimes. I was like, whatever, let's do it. I told my dad, take me out there. We're going to do this thing. So, we're all excited for it. It's coming up. And I think I even called the number on the thing to find out what games they were. And they're like, I think they may give me like a random list of games. It could be some of these.
Yeah, it could be one of these games you might be playing. Right, yeah.
So I was all excited. I was jazzed up. So we got in the truck that morning, rode on out there. I was going to be at the high school. Got to the high school, sat there. Parking lot's fucking empty. Nobody's there. So we're sitting there just waiting.
So you're number one. You won it all.
Yes, I had won already. Basically, what it was. I had won already. Actually, they heard that I signed up, and everybody just dropped the fuck out. And
that's right.
Yeah,
it happens all the time to me too.
It does happen all the time. So here we were sitting there waiting, and I don't know how long we waited for, 30 minutes, an hour maybe. I don't know. My dad's not a waiter, so I probably doubt we waited long.
35 seconds. I
don't know. We don't know what the fuck happened. So no one showed up. There was no thing. There's no sign saying, "Oh, it's canceled." So, we had to leave, whatever. Kind of let down, but it is what it was. That was one of my little stories. And a little story we have was, me and my cousin thought, hey, we should make a fucking NES game. And the thing was, I don't know why we thought that it's easy to make a Nintendo game. But in our minds,
see the cartridges, that's why.
In our minds, we were like, you know what, we can fucking do this. So it all started on paper, We started drawing out levels and shit, And if you look back at it, I don't have them anymore, but I remember them. But if you look at those levels, we basically fucking redrew Mario Brothers. The exact same level.
They're still redrawn. Have you seen Little Big Planet? They're still just redoing Mario Brothers.
Oh, I don't know if that's true. I mean, those levels are pretty.
I know you like that.
Yeah. Come on. Fuck you. No, it's fine. But obviously that's as far as that got was on those sheets of paper. It's us redrawing Super Mario Bros. But I think we had some ideas for some other shit, other types of games. But obviously I'm not a millionaire now. I don't work for Nintendo right now. So obviously I'm sitting in my fucking bedroom recording a podcast with some retard.
Yeah. Are you looking at yourself again? I can't. There's not a picture up on the screen. I can't tell.
What? Oh gosh. Anyway, so there that was. Do you have any funny stories? 'Cause I have one more if you want to get, but please get in there.
No, I'm just laughing because this is great. I'm writing all this down.
Actually, my other thing was, this is going longer than I thought it would, but I keep remembering these fucking stories. I mean, I'm a writer now, I write, but back then I was a writer the same as I am now. So, in school we had to, we had some assignment, had to write something, had to write a story. So, I was like, alright, let's write a story. I'm gonna write, basically I wrote, fan fiction about fucking Double Dragon. Okay? I took the story of Double Dragon, made a new one, same characters, and just wrote out chapter after chapter of fucking Double Dragon fan fiction, basically, is what I did. I don't know where, I'm sure my mom has that somewhere. I need to get it and laminate it. But it was pretty cool. I do remember that. I don't remember how good or bad it was. I'm sure it was fantastic. I'm sure
you're a millionaire from it, I can tell.
Yeah. Really, if I got it and sent it to Nintendo right now, it's skyrocketing. It's skyrocketing.
Yeah, man. Go viral inside Nintendo's headquarters.
That's right. I'm gonna help them out some. They're floundering a little bit, so I need to help them out with the Double Dragon fan fiction.
That's exactly right.
So I don't know if you got anything more to add to the nostalgia on that. Are you ready to put that one to bed?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to something a little more current. After we got the stories out the way, the campfire stories out the way. How about games that we're looking forward to this year? I know there's a big list of games that are coming out this year that all seem to be looking really good. I'm gonna let you just go ahead and throw out a couple on the top of your head that you're looking forward to.
I got three.
You got three. I'm gonna pull up a list while you go ahead and talk.
I got three.
You have three.
One of them's coming out Tuesday. Helldivers.
I'm not sure you're a video game player if you have three. All right, go ahead.
Helldivers comes out Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to that one.
All right.
The Division. I watched an hour-long video on that a couple days ago. Really looking forward to that.
The GameSpot one, yeah, I did watch maybe about 10-15 minutes of that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Really looking forward to it. I feel like they have the way that they talk. It's kind of like Destiny, or what Destiny wanted to be, in terms of the community players and the community playing together and the upgradable I guess, your character and everything.
Mm.
Except it seems like they've really learned by what Destiny did wrong. And apparently they're really working to make it, I mean, just a whole nother step up from that. So I'm really, really looking forward to The Division.
All right.
And then, of course, No Man's Sky, like I'd mentioned before. Really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
That's probably my top 3.
Okay.
So,
Helldivers.
What happened to Deep Down? I'd like to hear about Deep Down.
Oh, I saw something about it a few days ago. Somebody spoke on it. It might have been Marty Sleva on the IGN Beyond podcast. He mentioned something about it, or I saw somebody write something about it. I don't know. They're still working on it, I guess, and I think it's way different than it was before. I think someone might have seen something about it, or seen the game here recently, and they're saying it's way different. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like Lost in La La Land or what's going on there. They're doing a retooling of the game, but yeah, that game looked really fucking good at E3 last year.
Right.
And then just kind of went off the radar. But yeah, that was one of the games I was looking out for, and then you hear nothing about it for a whole fucking year.
Right.
So who knows, maybe we'll see something here at GDC or E3 coming up in June. I doubt we'll see anything at PAX East since that's more indie stuff. But yeah, I mean, who knows? But yes, The Division, I've had my eye on that since they announced that. And that wasn't even announced last year. I feel like that was announced the year before last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I have my eye on that since then, and that game does look amazing, visually and just the ideas they're trying to put in place. I did go watch the video. I think you watched about The Division, and yeah, it looked amazing. It looked incredible. It's really coming along. I hope they don't screw the pooch on it being a online heavy game. You know, here recently with the big AAA titles that involve online, they're really having some issues.
Right.
I won't name names. You know who you are. Yeah. But so I'm really hoping, they're gonna really beta the hell out of this motherfucker. And so they got the thing running smooth. And it is coming from Ubisoft, and Ubisoft has had some trouble with their last 3 or 4 or 5 games. So I'm hoping they can, pull themselves out of
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
You think so?
Full confidence. Yep. Yeah. The Division's gonna be what Destiny wasn't.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope so. That game looks amazing. It looks like one of those games you can really get lost in for a long time and play for a long time. I think that would be a day one buy, but I can't commit to a day one buy on a lot of things now. I have to hold off, but I'm really that's probably one of my most excited for games right now. For me, I have a few things on my list here. The Division's up there. I have The Witcher 3 on there. I know you didn't play any of the Witcher titles. I played The Witcher 2. Didn't get to finish it because I know it took me away to other games. But either way, I played a good portion of The Witcher 2 on 360. Great RPG, and it looks like that's turned out to be the third iteration of it. Looks like it's gonna be amazing also. So I can't wait to play that. Probably won't have the time to play it, but I'm going to pick it up either way. So it'll be there. It'll be on the console, sitting looking at me, taunting me every day. But I will, I think I will probably pick that up. Uncharted 4, don't know if that's coming out this year.
Yeah, I forgot about that, right.
Still, but yeah, we don't know if it's coming out this year, is the thing, but that game, I love the Uncharted series, so that's gonna be amazing to me.
Me too.
I mean, that's gonna be a day one person, no matter what, cause fucking Naughty Dog rocks it every time.
Every time.
Something else, let's see. Well, I had the order on my list, because I made this list before order came out. Obviously, the order's out now, and we've already spoke on that, that's having its issues. But I'm giving the order some slack. I do want to play it. I probably will pick it up, because I feel like there's a lot of people saying, as time goes by, they're saying that they're a really good game. It's a really good game. Even if it is fucking 6 hours long, it's a great 6 hour game.
I mean, that sounds like a renter to me.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up off like, $30 or something like that. I'm fine with that.
I'll probably end up renting it a couple of days at Redbox. I'll take care of that.
Yeah, I look forward to Redbox not there. We don't have PS4 games in our Redbox. I take that back. Only one PS4 game has a Redbox is Madden. That's it. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? That's the only game you won't carry. Let's see what else I have on there. I had Battlefield Hardline, but that's getting nixed off. I've played the beta. I'm not impressed with it. I'm gonna be picking it up. Even though I am a big Battlefield 4 guy. With all its problems, I still love that game. Battlefront, which I'm not sure is coming out this year. Being made by DICE. It's the Star Wars.
Gosh, I don't know why I keep forgetting about these games. Yes, right.
Yeah, Battlefront. So, haven't seen a lot on it. A few, no gameplay yet, I don't believe. Just like kind of trailers and whatnot. But I am keeping an eye out for that. So, also one to just kind of pop back up into the radar is Elder Scrolls Online without the subscription. So
I would just waste 1 million hours in that thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I wasted 108 or something in Skyrim. So
yeah, but I do see people split down the middle of the road on this game. Some like it, some don't. They're saying it's not, Skyrim. I don't believe it was made by the actual Bethesda guys. You know what I'm saying? I think it might have been made by someone else. Another studio picked it up and did it. But I'm gonna keep an eye out for it when it does come out in June, if not mistaken. The Witness, indie game, made by, yeah, it's a puzzle game, weird looking little puzzle game. It's made by a guy, I think his last name is Blow, can't remember his first name, I could be wrong on that. I'm sure if anyone watches this, they'll probably get angry I fucked his name up. I can't remember what he made, but he's a kind of a big name now, at least a known name, but he's making this little indie title called The Witness, puzzle-y type game. I don't know I'm not even sure I can describe it. You might have to look up a little bit of gameplay because there's probably very little gameplay out there, but it was announced, I think, maybe last year's E3. And he's just kind of seen very little of it since, but it's kept my interest because I'm getting really into indie games and, the puzzle games I really like, so.
Okay.
Until Dawn, which was, shown at the PlayStation Experience, the PSX thing we had here last year, a few months ago, whatever. I can't remember what it was, but that looked pretty cool. I think I told you about it, where you make the killer or whatever chasing you, make the decision what to do. Throw a lamp at him, run left, right, blah blah that. No, I think so that I keep my eye on that. I think that if I'm not mistaken, there might have been a trailer just came out here recently, a new one. Could be mistaken myself though. And No Man's Sky. So obviously, I think most people look for No Man's Sky, and that's one of the things how impressive that game looks, and in fact, it's on like a 6 or 8 man team making that.
Yeah, seriously.
So that game looks like it's going to be really good.
They're going to have 2 videos on GDC, but they said they're not going to stream them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll just have to download and watch them from somewhere. But they said they're going to have 2 videos about some type of the art, direction of the art, or the procedurals, or whatever.
All right. So hopefully No Man's Sky doesn't screw the pooch either. I'm hoping they're not because it's not a big company. It's an indie game. It really is. With high expectations. So
I think I'm just gonna be a pirate.
Gonna be a what?
A pirate. A pirate. I think you can be anything you want. I'm just gonna let everybody else do the work. I'm just gonna rob them.
I hear you.
That's all I'm gonna do.
So you're using the game.
We're gonna amass a fleet, and we're just gonna pirate.
Nice.
That's it.
I love it. I love it.
I'm not even gonna work my way towards the center of the galaxy. I'm just gonna stay on the outskirts. That's it. Just pirate people.
Yeah. Looking at my list here, I feel like there's something I might have forgot. There's something that kind of popped up here recently that caught my interest. I can't remember what it was. Oh, that Rainbow Six game that got announced.
Oh yeah, it got announced along with the Division.
Yeah, that looked amazing. Me being a big first-person shooter fan, I know it might not be your type of thing, but for me, I mean, it looks really good. It could probably bring a lot back to the first-person shooter genre, and I know it's a genre that a lot of people play, but that doesn't really mean it's not stale. Because it is. It really is. But that game looks like it could be really good. As long as you play with people that use teamwork. So that looks really good.
That I've noticed that is a lot of what they're going on these days.
What's that?
Teamwork.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you can't. It's the first person shooters used to be, each man for himself, and now
that's Call of Duty right there. I mean, Call of Duty. I mean, there's not. I mean, aside from the guys who play in MLG, obviously they're playing for a competition. It's money, Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you just go online with the game, I mean, you're not going to find too many team players. Everybody's every man for themselves, and that's the thing about those type of games. You can run and gun by yourself and just dominate the match, and you don't have to worry about your team.
Right.
And you can argue, you know, Battlefield is more team oriented. It is, but you can also do the same thing there. There's a lot of lone gunmen running around,
Gotcha.
but it kind of pushes you more to teamwork, and you know that's a play the objective type of game, and that's why I like it so much. Why I love it so much. But yeah, I think that's all I might have on my list. There's this game that's coming out on the fucking Xbox One. I'm so jealous it's coming out there and not on the PS4.
What is it?
It is called it's a side scroller, and I saw some video. It's called Ori or Oni, and the Kind of Funny guys got a first look at it, and they posted it on their YouTube. So if you want to go check that out, you can. I cannot remember the full title, but I remember the first name of your character is like Oni or Ori or something like that. I feel like I should look it up, but I won't. That looks really cool, and I'm also mad that it came just to Xbox One. But maybe, you know, in time it'll come to PS4. You never know, because it seems that's the way a lot of things are coming these days. You know, they're starting, you know, on the PC or other platforms and kind of making their way, especially PC titles, and making their way to the PS Store.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of happy for, you know, getting into indies, because there's a lot of great titles out there that seem to be coming our way. But yeah, so speaking of PS Store, so what do you think about the whole hold up here? I know by the time I post this video, it might be moot point.
No, I looked this afternoon. They still don't have anything up.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I don't know what their game is unless all those games that they've decided on, you know, the weekly PS Plus discount games that they've announced,
right?
Unless they're just still maybe working out some type of a contract or something, and
exactly.
Those are going to be the free games.
Exactly. That's what I think this might be. I think they're still working out, you know, the paperwork with somebody on, you know, just the game. Or my second notion was this, that it's a game they're trying to hold close to the vest. You know, we got GDC coming up this week.
Right.
And it's a game no one knows about. You know, something they're going to just kind of shoot out there. It's probably not very likely. But, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, that'd be awesome if there's some awesome game that comes out no one knows about, really. And they just kind of shoot it out there. Here, this is free for you.
It almost makes me wonder if they're not going to release a much bigger game as the PS Plus game, and it'll just be one game, like The Order.
Right. No, I doubt that would happen.
I'm not saying, I'm just, but you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Like one of the big ones.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be one for the month, and that's why they're negotiating the contracts, and they haven't been signed, and like you said, the papers haven't been signed, and that's why, you know, here we are on a Sunday night, and we still don't know what, March 1st, and we still don't know what our PS Plus games are.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that could be, but I don't know. It's probably more likely what we just said. You know, it's a contract issue. They're trying to work out some paperwork or whatnot. You know, they're just not ready to announce yet because they can't. So we'll see how that goes. And it's odd though, because usually this stuff leaks out. You know.
Yeah, I don't get it. They're being tight-lipped about it.
And I feel like I saw something last night, a screenshot from a foreign account of a game that had PS Plus beside it. I feel like it was a AAA title. So I noticed a game that was, I can't remember if it's a AAA title, and they wanted to it's like people were saying maybe this is the game that they're holding back. I cannot remember the title. I can't remember anything tonight. So
shoot,
I can't remember what I feel like it was a AAA title though. One that came here pretty recently. I cannot remember what it was though. But either way. No, it is what it is. So Brian, GDC, what do you think about GDC coming up? I have not heard of anything that's going to be shown of note. So I'm kind of going into it blind, to be honest with you. So what do you hope to see there on GDC?
I hope all those games we talked about, the ones coming out, I hope to see something on every one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing I'm looking to in particular. I mean, of course, the No Man's Sky things I'll download. The Division, I'd like to see some clarification. You know, is that coming out this year? I think they were talking about a holiday release, you know, end of the year holiday release, but I'd like to get that maybe confirmed, and maybe some more, you know, gameplay on that. Other than that, you know, I'll watch all the videos and see what's going on, but. Yeah.
I agree. I'm with all that. I'm not sure how much of all that we're going to see at GDC. I think it's maybe some of those titles, maybe even none. You never know. But I think maybe some of them. I think they're going to save a lot of their big powerhouse guns for the E3 coming up in June.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, you know, there that is. But so for GDC this week, hopefully me and Brian will be keeping tabs on it, watching it. We'll be hopefully uploading some things, giving our opinions on things, how we're reacting to whatever they announce through the week, hopefully. So keep an eye on the channel. Thank you to the 3 people who watched our video last week and watched it for a minimum of 6 minutes.
No, I think it was an average.
Yeah, an average of 6 minutes.
Someone accidentally clicked on it and someone else watched it for 12 minutes.
That's right. So thank you. But I think this week went better than last week, so we're just getting better at the whole thing, and we'll keep it moving. And so until next time, everybody, thanks for watching. This is Joey23, Libris, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.